Welcome to Time with the Pastor. I'm Howard Daniel, pastor of the Upper Room Christian Center, and I'm looking forward to the next series of sessions entitled Time with the Pastor. Time with the Pastor will be different sessions with the presidents of the various auxiliaries here at the Upper Room Christian Center, where you will be able to learn what exactly we do here at the Upper Room Christian Center. I'm telling you, I'm looking for a great time talking to these individuals who are key members of the ministry, excited about what they do, and it's an honor to have them holding leadership positions here at the Upper Room Christian Center. Today we're going to kick off our very first session with a ministry that is very near and dear to my heart. It's called Grief Share. And I am honored to have with us this afternoon our president, Minister Daisy Hopes. Minister Hopes, thank you for coming and taking the time to sit with Pastor Daniel.
Thank you, Pastor, for having me.
And it's an honor to have you with us. And we're just going to ask you a few questions and help the audience understand exactly what it is about Grief Share. So let's answer that question first. What is Grief Share?
Well, Pastor, Grief Share is a 13-week video-based recovery support group. It's a grief recovery support group. What we do is we help people to get through the healing process when they're dealing with the loss of a loved one. So Grief Share is basically to help those who are mourning to go from mourning to joy.
Awesome. So that's really great that we have a ministry here, because many times people will go through a loss, and once you have the funeral, there's really nothing else for them to do. There's nothing else for them to get involved in. So it's really good to have something like that within the house of God where people can come. Yes. So tell us, how did you get involved in this?
Well, the way I got involved with Grief Share is when I first came to the ministry, to Upper Room Christian Center, you approached me about a ministry that you said was near and dear to your heart, that you had prayed to God about this ministry, and you said that God gave you the name Absolutely. Dealing with Healing.
I remember the conversation.
From Dealing with Healing ministry, when you first asked me to head up this ministry, I was a little hesitant because I was thinking, I'm going through a healing process myself. Sure. How can I help others? So after much prayer, I decided, yes, this is something for me. So I decided to head up the Dealing with Healing ministry.
Great.
And so as I was contemplating what are we going to do in this ministry, I was in my car one day listening to a Christian radio station, and an advertisement came on about a program called Grief Share.
Right. And
it was like a light bulb went out in my head. I said, that's it. And so that's how Grief Share got started. And listening to the advertisement, the program said that the Grief Share was going to be starting soon. So it's a 13-week video-based program. So I called the church, registered to attend the classes, and we attended.
Awesome. Now you said we, who besides you in the ministry, or who besides you actually attended the training with you?
There were 3 of us who attended the first 13 cycles. One member of our church and another member from another church in the area in Hartford.
Awesome.
The 3 of us attended the 13-week cycle, and we were able to facilitate the sessions at our church.
So now that you've been through the training, and obviously you said it's for those that have lost people, but people grieve for many reasons. They've lost a loved one, spouse, child, what have you. But they also grieve because of divorce. They grieve because of, they have breakups with boyfriends. People grieve because they lost a pet. People grieve because, so who should or who should not, who should attend Grief Share?
This portion of Grief Share that we deal with at Upper Room Christian Center is only for those who have lost loved ones, who are grieving as a result of a loss of a loved one.
So it's not normal, or it is normal for someone to be very nervous, especially when they start talking about have lost someone. So how do you handle, or what is it like, or how do you deal with people that are hesitant to want to come out? Because a lot of people won't come and share because they like to internalize their grief, correct?
We would encourage everyone to attend. And one thing I did not mention is the age group that we deal with is 13 and above. So we are encouraging anyone who is grieving the loss of a loved one 13 and above, you're more than welcome to attend Grief Share.
That's great to know.
Now, as far as being nervous about coming or sharing in Grief Share, what we do at the beginning of each Grief Share session, we let people know that it's perfectly okay to speak or talk about their loved ones, or if they're not comfortable with sharing, they don't necessarily have to.
Okay.
But we just pray that at some point during the 13-week cycle, they will be able to share.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. Well, that's great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a pause for the calls, take a little break, give you time to check out one of our advertisements, and we'll be back with Time with the Pastor with our host, our guest speaker here, guest presenter, Minister Daisy Hopes.
We say praise the Lord to everyone. My name is Evangelist Alicia Brathwaite, where I serve proudly at the Upper Room Christian Center. I'd like to invite you all to come on out to the Upper Room. And on Sunday morning, we're looking to have a high time in Zion. I'm excited about getting into the presence of God and seeing what it is that our Father has to say to us. What about you? Come on and join us at the Upper Room. God bless you.
Grief Share is a support group ministry that helps people heal from the pain of grief. The Grief Share video seminars, workbook exercises, and small group discussions give participants encouragement, useful advice, and hope.
The Grief Share videos are excellent.
The video strengthened me.
It's a freeing kind of thing to be able to talk about your loss.
My workbook helped me to unravel the feelings I was going through.
If you know people in your church or community who are grieving the death of a loved one, tell them about Grief Share. Or visit a Grief Share group yourself to heal from the pain of your grief.
There was such a void until I got into Grief Share.
I never really healed down deep until I came to Grief Share.
Grief Share brought me out of my sadness.
Begin your journey from mourning to joy at Grief Share.
This is Upper Room TV, and you're watching Time with the Pastor.
Well, welcome back to Time with the Pastor. We're here once again with the president of one of our key ministries entitled Grief Share, and it's just an honor to have Minister Daisy Hopes, amen, in the studio today. So, Minister Hopes, many times, you'll find out that people say, well, it's at a church, or a church is hosting it, it must just be for Christians. What would you say to someone that believes or thinks or would feel that it's just for those that are Christians, if you will?
Well, I would say to them, yes, Grief Share is a Christ-centered program, but it's not just for Christians, because the way the program is set up, everybody grieves. Grief is universal.
That's true.
And if anyone loses a loved one, there's a hole in their heart, whether they're a Christian or not.
Absolutely.
So we would encourage everyone to come. Grief Share is open to everyone, and everyone is welcome.
So you've been through the training. You've been through how many sessions now have we had?
At Upper Room, we've had 3 complete sessions, and we're now in our 4th session,
Wow.
4th cycle of 13-week sessions.
And that's in over a 2-year span?
Yes, over a 2-year span.
God
Yes.
bless you.
Yes,
God
yes,
bless
yes.
you. So as you look at it from your personal perspective, many people want to hear from those that's been through it. So we don't have anyone other than yourself that's been through the grief and been through the experience on both sides, really, of the grief, helping others and grieving yourself. So how has Grief Share helped you?
Grief Share has really helped me tremendously. As I was going through the first 13-week session, I received a phone call. It was on a Wednesday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. My phone rang. And I always say, if your phone rang at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's normally not good news. Yeah. So I answered the phone. It was my sister telling me that my father had been murdered.
My God.
So as I'm going through these trainings, I had to put into action what I had learned in these sessions. And one of the sessions dealt with guilt and anger. I had a lot of guilt because before my father was killed, I was supposed to call him that Sunday, and I didn't call him. So I was feeling a lot of guilt. But going through these sessions, it helped me to deal with how to deal with the guilt.
Gotcha.
And another thing that we dealt with was anger. How do you deal with the fact that you're angry because someone has violated you by taking your loved one?
Exactly.
So I had to deal with that and going to the court proceeding and sitting there watching the young man who actually murdered my father.
My Lord.
So we were able to deal with the anger because of Grief Share. So I do thank God for allowing me to be in the session when this did happen.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, because many in the audience may feel like, I just can't do it. I can't go through it. Does it really work? And I know there's a testimony about one young man that came to Grief Share, and he lost his daughter, actually committed suicide. I remember that story, and how he was totally reluctant to go.
Yes.
But after he went, he ended up becoming a Grief Share counselor or Grief Share participant with you.
Yes, he did.
That's powerful.
Yes, it is.
So it does work, ladies and gentlemen. It does help you get through the grief. It's not just a one-time ministry involvement and everybody walks away, but we stick with you. We stay with you. We help you. We continue to encourage you over the time to give you time to heal, because the model of this ministry is ministering healing to the hurting, and this is one of those great aspects that we have that ministers healing to the hurting. So, Mr. Hopes, one final question I'd like to ask you: why would you suggest for anyone out there, and I want you to look right in that camera and tell them why would you suggest that they would come and attend Grief Sharing? So if they've lost anyone or lost a loved one, why should they come?
I would encourage anyone who has lost a loved one to just give Grief Share a try. Even if you don't go through the complete 13-week cycle, I would encourage you to just come for 3 weeks, 3 sessions, only 3 sessions. Try it for 3 weeks, and if you feel that it's not helping you any, come to me, talk to me personally, one-on-one. And if we are not able to help you, we'll try to get you help wherever. But we just encourage you to come for 3 weeks, and we just pray that it'll be a blessing to you.
So awesome. So let's tell the audience out there, how do they contact you? What days or sessions? Let's give them some of the key critical information that they may need to know if they do want to participate in Grief Share.
You can contact me by inboxing me through the ministry's Facebook page, which you're watching right now, or you can inbox me personally, Daisy Hopes. Please be sure to include your name and your phone number, or the best number to reach you. So remember, you truly can go from mourning to joy, because grief is not something you get over. It's something you go through.
Awesome. Just simply awesome. So to everyone out there, I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Time with the Pastor. I'm Howard Daniel, pastor of the Upper Room Christian Center, and this is just one of many series that's going to come your way to help you better understand what we do at the Upper Room Christian Center. It's 2016. We're excited about it, and I want you to know we're here ministering healing to the hurting. And our catchphrase is this: come as a guest, leave as family. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you.
This is the Upper Room Christian Center, where our motto is
Minister healing to the hurting.